Hello, Fruity Cutie. What's up? My name is Jeannette, also known as Ms.FitVegan, and today we're talking about a raw vegan excuse. So, I have a book called Raw Vegan Excuses. You can check it out on Amazon now. It's 30 chapters for 30 days. After the 30 days, you will be raw, or else you wasted your money. Today, we're talking about an excuse that you don't really say, but I know that's why you're not going raw. And the excuse that you're probably saying is raw food doesn't taste as good as cooked food. There's not this like pleasure. Like cooked food is so much more pleasurable. Or someone wrote in and said that they don't have as much of a dopamine hit with raw food than they have as cooked food. And most people don't word it like that. They're not aware of that, but that's what's happening. You're not getting as much of a dopamine hit with your raw food than with your cooked food. And to this excuse, I would say number one, you've got to change your mindset. Mindset is 90% of your success. And so, most likely, what you're saying to yourself every day, all day, consciously and subconsciously, is I don't like to eat raw. Eating raw is boring. Eating cooked food is way more pleasurable. Eating cooked food is way more delicious. I mean, I think of my roommate, bless her soul. I love her. She's my best friend in the world. But she says all day long, she says, she likes to say this affirmation, I'll never go raw. She says, I'll never go raw. And she also likes to say, like raw food doesn't taste good, or like she says stuff like she needs warm food, she needs cooked food, and that's her choice, that's her opinion, but like you have to understand that what you're saying all day long is becoming true for you. So like, I mean, she doesn't want to go raw, but if you want to go raw, then you need to get control of these things that you're saying all day long. You're saying to yourself, well, cooked food just gives me a hit. Like cooked foods just taste better. Cooked food is just so much more pleasurable. That's something you're saying all day long. It's not true. It's a learned behavior to eat junk food, to eat cooked food, to eat unhealthy food. And when we say cooked food, I'm not talking about a fucking sweet potato. And you're not either. It's a learned behavior to eat foods that are toxic, that are causing you dis-ease to form in your body. Okay? So just like we learned that behavior, we can unlearn it. And so what I want to urge you to do is stop saying these things that might feel true, but they're a learned addiction. It's a learned behavior. I want you to start saying, wow, it's so easy to be raw. Wow, I love watermelon. I love nice cream. What are some healthy recipes that you love that happen to be raw too? Because if you think for 1 second that I'm suffering through this thing, it's like I'm not. I'm eating the most delicious foods on the planet. Today I had a big bowl of grapes for breakfast. Green grapes are my favorite. I had a whole pineapple after that. Then I had a big bowl of nice cream, vanilla nice cream. It's like in what's in what reality is somebody going to be successful on a diet, on a lifestyle for 13 years if they're suffering through it? If they didn't change their mindset to know and believe that cooked food is crap and raw food tastes way better. Raw food gives me more of a dopamine hit than any other food on earth. Why? Because I've told myself that over and over and over again. And the only reason that cooked food gives you more of a dopamine hit is because you've told yourself that you're addicted to it and it makes you feel good. And yeah, there are some substances in cooked food, we're saying cooked food, but what I mean is in unhealthy processed foods that are giving you a dopamine hit, such as processed sugar, oil, and salt, the three most addicting foods on the planet. Okay, well, if you're aware of that, you've got to get those things out of your diet. Why are they in your house? Don't bring them into your house. If you know that, which you probably do know that because you're watching a raw food channel, okay, you got to get the salt, the sugar, and the oil out of your house. And no, fruit does not contain processed sugar, so we're not talking about fruit, okay? Fruit contains the glucose that we need to live, the glucose that is required for every single cell in our body to function properly. So fruit sugar absolutely does not compare at all to processed sugar at all. Processed sugar causes dis-ease in the body. Fruit sugar causes health and wellness and lowers inflammation and clears your skin. Fruit will cause you to lose weight. Fruit will cause your hair to grow. Fruit will help you sleep better. Fruit will help you with everything in life, physically, mentally, emotionally. And I am actually going to read some of this in the next episode because this book, Return to the Brain of Eden, incredible. I mean, not as good as this book, obviously. But Return to the Brain of Eden, amazing book, which will help you to understand the power of fruit. And so if you're like on the fence about like, is fruit our species specific food? Get that book, both those books. And so this excuse is interesting. Yeah, raw food is not as addictive as cooked food. Raw food's not addictive at all, at all. There's nothing in raw food that is addictive, but there is so much raw food that is pleasurable and can give you a dopamine hit. And I'm telling you right now, when I'm eating nice cream, my favorite nice cream, which I love to do mint chip nice cream or, strawberry nice cream or, mango banana nice cream, I'm getting dopamine. You get dopamine from anything you enjoy. So you're probably not eating foods you enjoy if you're not getting dopamine on a raw food diet. Stop eating foods you think are healthy. Stop listening to your ego and start listening to your intuition. Okay? What foods do you love that also are healthy? Why do you think I have so much goddamn watermelon paraphernalia around here? Okay? I fucks with watermelon. Heavy, boo. I got a fucking balloon. I got a lot of watermelon shit you have no idea. If I showed you the other side of this camera, you would be very concerned. But I love watermelon because it gives me dopamine, but it also gives me health. It's healthy. It's good for me. It makes me feel good. It makes me look good. It makes me smell good. No, it doesn't make me smell good. I'm not one of those raw vegans that smell good. I don't know, like naturally. Like when I sweat, I need to shower. I don't know what the situation is, but I've heard some raw vegans say that they don't use deodorant anymore. Like if I don't use deodorant, I smell. But I also do eat like onion and garlic and stuff like that sometimes, so that's probably why. Anyway, what was the topic? Oh yeah, dopamine and junk food. They wrote into me and they said cooked food. Like, and let's just clarify this real quick, okay? They said cooked food gives me a dopamine hit that raw food doesn't. What kind of cooked food? Like, you're not talking about Brussels sprouts. You know it, and you know it. You know you're talking about some like nasty, fried, fucking oily, salty shit that is literally destroying your brain and your body and your potential and your energy level and your skin, and you're complaining about this and you're complaining about that, but you're like literally doing it to yourself. If you want to look better, look at your diet. What does your food look like? Is your food glowing? You're gonna glow. Like that. You're gonna glow, boo. Fuck a highlighter. You don't need highlighter. You know what you need? You need a higher fruit consumption. Wait, let's make that into a good quote. You don't need highlighter. You need a higher amount of fruit in your diet. Something like that. Somebody make it nice and write it below. Because y'all are just, mwah. Y'all come through for me. That's it. That's the episode for today. I hope you start to understand what your mind is doing to you. I hope you understand how powerful your words are. I hope you understand your power. And you just start to step into that, because a lot of you guys are talking like victims when you are creators. And I can't understand it. Let's just stop. Let's just stop. And let's just start eating the fruits we love and finding recipes we love. And when I first went raw, I was making raw vegan cookie dough once a week, and I used to like, I made them into like balls sometimes, but sometimes I put them in a tray, like a little like baking tray, and I used to cut them into squares, and I would blend a few squares with nice cream, and then I would put a few squares in the nice cream, and I would have cookie dough nice cream. And what the fuck is more delicious and dopamine hitting than that? Like, unless you've had raw vegan cookie dough, which it's super simple, like look up the recipe on Google. It's like cashews, dates, cacao, vanilla bean, and that's it. Maple syrup, maybe. Unless you've had that with vanilla and ice cream and you think it's gross, then you can't tell me that cooked food or junk food tastes better or gives you more of a dopamine hit than raw food. It's just not true. It's just not true. You're just not putting in the effort in order to live a raw vegan lifestyle. And maybe you don't want to be raw, and maybe you need to have that conversation with yourself. The most important conversations you'll ever have are the ones you have with yourself. Why don't you get alone, start writing, turn your phone off, start journaling? Like, do I want this? Why do I want this? Oh, because I want to feel good enough. But I don't really want this. I don't really want to eat raw. If you don't want to eat raw, then you're not going to find a way to eat raw. But if you really want to, you'll find a way. So maybe you don't want to. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to eat raw to be healthy and happy and feel good. But if you know that you do feel the best eating raw, which is the situation with me, I feel way better eating raw than I do eating any other diet, even a whole food plant-based diet. Okay, that's great and all, but it doesn't make me feel and look my best. Then I know I have to prioritize having the amazing recipes and dressings and fruit in my life in order to stay raw. It's not gonna fucking happen on its own. You gonna make it happen, boo, like you've made everything else in your life happen. So that's it. I love you, my boo. I talked a bit about binge eating on another YouTube that I posted yesterday. So check that out because a lot of you guys are dealing with binge eating disorders, and I definitely know what you're dealing with. I suffered from that for a really long time. So I'll link the video here. Maybe if I can figure out how to do that. Yeah, right here. Maybe. Maybe. And I'll see you in the next episode. I love you. And I just really want you to stop making excuses so you can get a goddamn result. Love you, boo. Bye.